Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. Hey, I'm your host for L2 Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Belle Collective. This is season 3B, episode 14, Bromance Before Romance. All right, so we begin this episode with Letitia. She's at one of the reconstructed homes or remodeled homes that are going to be, as far as the assistant living properties that she's helping Marie and Essie with. So she's talking with the contractor, DP, and we're able to take a tour around just to see what's going on. Marie and Essie, they do show up. Marie says specifically this is for uh, people who are who have an intellectual disability. But her future goals are to develop 500 acres across the state of Mississippi. I guess there's going to be a lot more houses. Okay, so basically they just talk. Of course, Marie and Essie, they do take their own tour and all that. Letitia does say that are you looking for some more property? And Marie does say yes, they are. They're trying to... Letitia thinks that she may have a property, but let's pencil it in and let's see if we can actually help, because I think that this one is supposed to be for a male and they want one for female also. So, and then of course S with the mess wanted to get down to the dirty of everything. And what happened between you and Treese when y'all talked? So Treese goes on and say that this is the first time that she's ever had accountability. Right now I'm not really feeling her, and she's got to come to her senses in regards to what's been said. Of course, Marie wants to add her 2 cents on everything concerning Latrice because she has nothing else going on. She embarrassed you. She embarrassed you. I think what's more embarrassing, as I said last week in my review, that the lady that insulted the whole state of Mississippi, saying that there weren't any type of good, high-priced, valued homes. That should be the most insulting thing. But since everybody wants to keep this narrative that you were so embarrassed, you were so offended, everybody was so offended, let's roll that clip that's been going around viral again.
Wants to work a fucking 9 to 5, right? Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. For me, it's 2 different types of women. It's those who have their backs against the wall, who has quit that 9 to 5, and you have no other way but to look up. So you're going to do everything in your power to grind to get to where you need to be, because you got family that's relying on us. All of us probably come from similar backgrounds, and that's just what it is. As black people, we don't have a silver spoon. We don't have the privilege and the knowledge that they have. So we have to make do what's best for us, and basically get it out the mud. Nobody's helping us. But then you do have those women, like, everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. So I agree with all the women. Do not quit your 9 to 5 to pursue your hustle. But if that is your passion, I commend you. Like, I went forward and, I made my first million the second year of my business. I came from Jackson State University thinking that, okay, listen, I got a degree, I'm about to be a doctor or a nurse, and I'm about to make, 6 figures. Hell, that didn't happen. I collected a lot of debt. And that was from Jackson State, honey. That degree looks cute on that wall.
So you see that there was a lot more conversation. It looks like Latrice made that as an icebreaker for her, to take the edge off of her and to get the audience attention. We find out a little bit later that Latrice is getting some speaking engagements because people were liking what she said. Who said it? That's what I want to know, Miss So Gucci, Marie. Y'all took a moment that didn't hardly mean jack, because she turned it around and did appreciate 9 to 5 workers. So I don't even know what Latrice is so mad about. She got this battery in her back for this show. And I'm not taking that back ever, because y'all are playing, and it's like you're playing it up for the show, and it's not really making any sense. Because as a viewer, we're looking at y'all, what? There was no way. I didn't even hear everything that Latrice said outside of that video, but I still understood where she was coming from. The delivery wasn't off. These bells are off. All right. Of course, it's like Marie was still trying to go into her. into Letitia. It's like you could tell she's the ringleader that you need to really just jump ship with Latrice. That's the whole gist of it. So because when you could tell it was edited, but Latrice was like, or Letitia was like, I've held her accountable. Obviously, she's getting sick and tired of being the one to be laid into about doing something about Latrice. But you a fool, Letitia, for trying to follow up behind her. That miserable lady. For what? I don't even know why. But she did nothing wrong at your event. But we're going to get into what other people are talking about your event. All right. And that's the next scene here. All right. So Latrice, she goes to a clothing shop and she's meeting up with the owner. Her name is April. Latrice is spearheading a panel for a speaking engagement that she has for Hines Community College. Melanie comes in, who is Latrice's publicist, and soon Tamara will be joining and all that good stuff. So they start talking about the brunch because Latrice goes into what Letitia had to say about her. And Melanie said that she was just quite surprised that this is what's going on with Letitia. You know, they've been cool, and then all of a sudden they flip the script. People are saying that you haven't held her accountable. I don't know. I just feel like with Letitia, she's very... I think that she takes stuff, she puts stuff, if you're going to be a mentor, I don't think that you should put your personal feelings into it. Sorry. Anyway, so after Latrice said everything that she needed to say, April, she was like, well, I wasn't offended by that. I don't even understand, but I will say what people have been saying about this brunch. It's like, well, one, she said, you know, she was worried about something when she should have been worried about this. I mean, it was the location and the type of people that she was around. It wasn't even a sophisticated type of brunch, is what I was getting from April and what she was saying. She said, one, my food was cold when it got to me. I can't say what everybody else had going on, but my food was cold. And my friend, April was saying this, didn't even eat her food. How April feels like how she deals with these brunches is like, oh well. Because it's like, Letitia, you're trying to be this motivational speaker, you're trying to be this type of mentor, but when people try to tell you about you, you got this pride about yourself. Just like you had pride about Akeisha last season when she said, you got food, there's some food on this plate. What am I supposed to do about it? It's your event. So there's a lot of insecurities about you that you need to check, besides trying to come at Latrice. I mean, the group really needs some self-help. Sorry. Okay, so Latrice finally lets it out of the bag that what happened as far as this text thread that happened last season, it was about Marie and Tisha did not want Akeisha in the group. So they were going to have their own separate text thread and going to blame it on Tamara. That's what Latrice told them. Now people are like, what's going on? Why is Latrice all of a sudden saying stuff because it's on Mad Day? That's not true. I'm going to show you this tweet that went out last night, and then you'll know the whole story. And honestly, Latrice already told Tamara after second season was over with. Look at this tweet. So you see that there was Tamara was on the up and up. And guess what? Also, Latrice, she let Akeisha know what was going on when Akeisha came to the paint thing. So now I'm confused with Akeisha, who's trying to be loyal to so Gucci, which is okay. You're trying to line yourself up with the people that don't even like you. So from that point, Latrice told her what had happened to her. She said what was up, that they set Tamara up to take the fall. So it's very interesting. And now I need to go back to find out, did that party where Akeisha was still sitting there and not sitting by her, when she was sitting there not talking about Tamara during part A, I got to go look and see what the timeline was. Was the thing where Akeisha and Latrice came together, was that before the party that happened at Gucci's home or after? I got to remember. I don't understand, because now it's not making sense on why you have stayed apart from Tamara this long when you found out the truth, or at least what you heard from Latrice, whether you believed it or not. Maybe that was it, but there's some holes in this whole season that's not making any sense at this moment. because I'm trying to figure out why some people are still moving the same way that they're moving. As far as Akeisha, because Akeisha was, she did tweet out something, and that's one of my faves. Who would really want friends like this if they were holding on to that? Da, 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 da. I tweeted back and said, were they friends at the time? I forgot what her response was, but I could show you those receipts too. Because it's like, I don't even know if Latrice and Tamara were friends, you know? But then we find out that it was already told to Tamara by the end of second season. So, hey, maybe a friendship started then, but it wasn't on Mad Day, basically. All right, enough rambling by me. But April does say, in conclusion, she sees Tisha's vision, but she needs to stop serving food cold. So it looks like people are still talking about your brunches, Letitia. Now you've had the opportunity to start touring outside of your city. I wouldn't mess that up for yourself. Because right now you're the guest. I don't know if you're setting up anything yourself while you're out in these other cities, but you better make sure that home is taken care of, because it's going to start spreading out. You're already on national TV anyway, so you're on national TV, lady. So I would get that together, because we're tired of your tired brunches. All right, so Tamara and Damon, we find out that she's 5 months along, but she still wants to wait a little bit longer before telling anybody, because it's a high-risk pregnancy, and she's just sensitive about the whole thing, and there's nothing to be mad about. So they are in a baby store, her and Damon, and shopping for baby stuff, baby clothes and all that good stuff. The topic came up about keeping the secret. Probably she's going to wait 6 months, but then she asked Damon, have you told anybody? Damon said that he told his sister. And Tamara's like, basically, I'm going to say it in the way I want to say it. Ninja, I trusted you with this. And you're going to go tell somebody when I told you that you said that you weren't going to do that? I ought to kick you in the eyes. That's how it felt. That's what I felt, and that's my interpretation of it. No, she didn't say it like that, but, you know, Tamara said that she told her sister. She told her sister because she's a nurse and knew that nurse sister would understand what's going on with her. So, other than that, keep it hush, Damon. Okay, so Latrice, she is throwing a retirement dinner for her mom on her estate. She's invited Stormy Steele, who is from Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you do watch that show, shout out to Stormy. We're having little crossovers. I'm glad that they're incorporating that, even though I don't really care for him. Marcel was on Detroit, but even behind the scenes, Ashley from Love and Marriage DC has been facilitating all the different shows come together, and they either go vacationing or whatever, blah, 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 blah. But she's been kind of facilitating that to connect all of these people. And I'm glad for that, from Detroit, from DC, and also Huntsville. So that's cool. So she's there. So Gucci's there. And I thought she was talking about Selena when she all of a sudden asked Tamara, you know, is the mom here? Because next thing you know, we get this edit of the girls, JJ's girls are there. And then they said, I think things are going better for us. We still got to have that uncomfortable conversation about the fight between their mom. But I'm hopeful. So Gucci has been the biggest disappointment on this show. Others are, but she's flopping bad. And the only thing that's keeping her afloat is because she hangs around Marie and Letitia. And then she does have, I believe, an authentic relationship with Akeisha. But you flopped. You have flopped. And for you to be a boss, grown woman, you're none of that. And you're showing that by your actions. And that's why I say what I say. You have flopped hard. You think these girls are about to all of a sudden understand why you got into a fight with their mom? They're not. They're not. They already told you about the disrespect that they have felt that you have brought towards your mom. Even though y'all trying to act like, oh, we just don't speak to each other. I know that there is much more history. I don't care who's lying or what. There's been a lot more history that y'all not talking about. But y'all sit up here and try to focus on Latrice when your houses are nasty. Pressure wash this house before we all get contaminated. Shout out to Mariah from Married to Medicine. My God. So anyways, we were at the house. We find out Miss Gloria, she's had to work 3 jobs at once. I think that's what Latrice was talking about. She's been a hard worker. Latrice let us know regarding, there was a time where Latrice couldn't afford her gown. She ended up cashing in her car just to make sure that Latrice had her cap and gown for graduation. I said, that's a mama. That's a mama that will do whatever she can to make sure that her daughter thrives. So she said, we've retired her. Even if she don't really feel like retiring, she can and she will do it. Uh, Latrice and them, they awarded her a vacation to Las Vegas, her and a guest. So she said, bring your side, boo, because you're going. And that really lit up her life. But congratulations, Gloria. Go on and rest, girl. You've earned it. And you have a child that is able to afford you and your lifestyle and what you want to do to live comfortably. Then Cliff and Latrice, they go off to the side and they start talking about Letitia and Glenn. Latrice says what has happened and how she feels. She feels like she's just been stumped on and all this good stuff. I've stuck up for her, da 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 da. Even when I felt like she was doing me wrong too, da 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 da. So it looked like both of them got, I guess, reasons to feel a certain way towards each other. And I think that if they had a truthful conversation and not people putting batteries in their backs to talk, I think it would be a lot more fruitful. But Letitia, you're really showing that you're not the leader that you say that you are. You're the other person I'm disappointed in. Because you are flopping and clicking down, lady. And it's not because it is. It's partly for that. But it's the fact that you can't even think on your own. That's crazy. That you will come up with lies to try to set somebody else up to make them look a certain way. Crazy. So he really wants Letitia and Latrice to get along. Cliff does. He likes Glenn, and he thinks that he's a stand-up guy. Okay. Look, I understand people make mistakes. I really do. But dude has not grown up. And the only reason that he's trying to get right is that Letitia has started putting her foot down in certain areas. But, lady, you done crumbled in that. Let me stop. Latrice says, you want to hang around Glenn, but Letitia, if Letitia is this way, then Glenn got to be just like her. So you better watch out for yourself. So Cliff is going to have a double date with Glenn and Letitia. Of course, Latrice is not really up for that and don't really want that to happen. So we see how that happens at the end of this episode. All right, so Latrice has an interview with the Jacksonian. She's saying a lot of things that she wants to pop off. It's like there's a lot of emotions built up that she's brought to the interview, and it kind of just talks a little bit about the Bells too. And I know she says in her confessional, possibly Letitia's gonna feel some type of way, and want to come down and lecture me. I don't care. Just at this point, I guess the gloves are off. Now I gotta go to this scene. So Gucci, Mom, and JJ. JJ's mom comes in from wherever she comes from and says, do you got my coffee? You supposed to have this or something. And so Gucci's like, no, I don't have that. So they start arguing, bickering, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. JJ comes out to try to settle the emotion. And basically, so Gucci says, she got to go. The girl started ripping up the plastic off of the carpet that she already knew all about, not to touch the carpet and all that. You need to do something about this house, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then we got a flashback of her saying that, I won't even be up here because JJ was instructing them, leave things how they are in this living room. She said, I'm just going to be downstairs by myself. So the only thing that I could say about this scene is that it was totally fake. And the reason I can say it is fake, one, what's her name already said, JJ's mama, that she makes her own coffee. And now she's demanding So Gucci to make coffee all of a sudden. Two, why would you rip up carpet of your son's when you already said that you're going to respect his house and specifically that? And you had no complaints about it. So Gucci says that she's got to go in a day or two. The mama comes back out from where she was coming from. They talk for a minute. Like, I know you don't want to throw me out, so I'm going to leave by myself. I'm like, y'all are some actors. Y'all are some actors. You can really tell that the stuff that needs to be concentrated on, and so Gucci and JJ's house, they're not doing it, and they're too busy trying to be performative for scenes. again. So Gucci is a flop. What's next? I think. All right, it's the double date. Letitia and Glenn, they are walking into a restaurant, and she feels like Glenn is being too fast walking in there. Like, I don't know what that's all about, but they seem to be off as a couple. But that's her man, and she knows what it takes to make sure that side chicks don't take your man. They get in there, and Glenn finally breaks it to her that she has invited Cliff and Latrice, and she gives this look. I don't want to do all that. This is supposed to be a date between us, and I'm not even really getting along with her right now. I don't really want to be around her. And he says, well, the therapist said that we need to start doing more couples activities with other couples and all that. So that's why I did that. So before they get up in there, Letitia's giving herself all these affirmations to coach herself through actually facing Letitia and Cliff. Okay. Whatever you need, lady, get it. Teresa's not like what he did as far as doing this whole double date thing. Is not where she's at. We still in heat about certain things. So they're going on. It's kind of awkward and all that good stuff. Letitia gets on the bromance between Glenn and Cliff. She says that I really don't like your influence over him. Since he's been around you, he has changed and he's different. I said, man, your husband been trifling since before he came along, before Cliff came along. What are you talking about, lady? I really think that he's giving you back a taste of the medicine that you've been giving with Marie being in your marriage, and you're too blind to see that. That's what I think. Do I think that they are kind of good friends and all that? Yeah. And he's teaching you a lesson along with it, Letitia. So they kind of was going back and forth for a minute. Then the men, they end up getting up and going to the bar. Obviously, this is really a setup to try to get Latrice and Letitia on the same path. They exchanged a few words, but to me, it wasn't really too important because I didn't really write down whatever they were saying. So there's a continuation next week on their conversation. I don't think it's going to go over well in regards to that. But shout out to Scotty by Nature TV. He's the one that says that Latrice and Tamara, they're just going to be by themselves while the others do their thing. So I'm excited for next week because finally Akeisha and Tamara are sitting down, and I may have more thoughts about that next week outside of whatever is talked about, because I'm a little bit surprised at how Akeisha moved yesterday. Just from what I saw, I'm like, okay. So that's all I do have. Be sure to like this video, share it. Also, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and thank you for already the subscribers I do have. You are appreciated. Leave your comments about this episode, and also if you feel free to do it about my own commentary. That's all I do have. Until the next episode, peace.